Yo, 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 what's up, amigos? I hope you guys are doing well. I hope life is good. Uh, in this video, we're going to talk about a bit of continuation. These are things that I enjoy solving. I find them a bit difficult, interesting, and challenging. It is continuation of dilution and taking it to the next step. The next step is a reference to understanding the story structure. I I first actually heard it a while ago from Elkwood, Eric, and I remember the first time I heard it, and I was like, man, that's a load of bollocks. I was like, some people are private about what they share, some people are not. So in my head, I was like, no, dilution is number one. Dilution is the only thing that matters. Nothing else matters. And it is true, but it also is not the full picture. You have to understand the full picture and the full dynamics. Who's the dilution holder? Who holds the dilution? If it's a CEO, he will not dump it. If it's a person that owns more than 10%, he may be restricted. Or if it's a type of brothers that have participated in and like they buy biotechs and they hold on, then that's like, it's not shady scams versus other under people that participate like Empri, Sabi, all these other guys. So the storyline is important. In this video, what we're going to talk about is a company by the name Yelp, which is a trucking company. Believe it or not, I had my intentions were at 70 cents to put on some position. And it did not fill. And I was like, I'm going to go ahead and be patient. And it's just, yeah. I think I remember pre-market, I was like, I'm just going to wait till 720, 750, 690. And I'll explain why that happened. What was the thesis? What was the reasoning? It'll be a good value-added lesson. So if you want to stick around, that's what the video is going to be about. A bit more difficult for me. And yeah, I'm going to share some screens and some conversations that I had. People that are smarter than I am. So yeah. The first thing is this company was a bankruptcy play. Everybody thought it was supposed to go bankrupt. I think they announced that it went bankrupt. So there's a lot of people whom I love and respect are better fundamental analysis and better dilution. I'm not going to say who this person is, but I think he wants to keep his life private. I apologize if it shows, but hopefully he understands. So this is Michael Goody. Not Goody. Michael Good. The E is silent, yes. So after hours, there's Forum 4. Someone bought 7 mil at the open market. They bought 1/4 of the thing, and they were called FMN partners. So what's the storyline? This is very similar to if a stock. So I played this. Geez, I don't know what I don't want to show a lot. So this guy works at Goldman Sachs. A bit private. So I did research on a weekend. So after hours, somebody bought. So the company was supposed to. The concept is we're gonna understand the structure and the story behind it. You always want to be on the other. So when everybody's saying the same thing, you don't just want to take the opposite side. You want a catalyst or you want price action. Price action to me is not sufficient enough, but you want, when everybody's on one side, you want to wait for some form of confirmation, some sort of reason, catalyst, then you want to take the other side. Those are the sides that you can genuinely make 10 to 1 RR. 10 to 1 RR is like 1,000% plus gain. You're risking 10 cents, you can make like $1, $2. And those are really, really good risk reward trades. It started with a heads up from Parker and Michael Good mentioning it. And then also, I looked into it a little after MGN. And then I know one of my friends that worked at Goldman Sachs, or I think he still works at Goldman Sachs, is John. Uh, so I got very excited after research, and I almost called him late at night, near 11 o'clock at night. What I mentioned is that the market cap's really small. They've declared bankruptcy, or they said they're gonna declare bankruptcy. They have 1.5 billion in debt, and 700 mil is from the government, and they also have a union. They're for Teamstars. So the situation, and the other key variable, by the way, is the MGN company owns about $400 million worth of XPO. XPO is like a $4 billion market cap trucking company. So the person that's buying 25% of the float on a bankruptcy, either they're crazy, stupid, or they know something a little more than we don't. And so everybody's short one side, and then you have this new player, the catalyst is, and then you try to put the picture together. And it's the reason why this is enjoyable and it's tough is because you can go down a rabbit hole and make all sorts of crazy scenarios in your head. But when you're surrounded by other level-headed people, uh, they can often you can have a discussion back and forth, and they can debunk your thought process or give each other comment. So the two scenarios, a lot of this actually was ignited by Dilution Tracker. Is in one scenario, I thought that potentially the MGN, MFN partner management, that now that they took a stake, what they could potentially do is they could sell off. This was my first original thought process, and this was wrong because Michael Good told me that it's incorrect, and I trust him. And the same thing with the guy with the Goldman Sachs. I think he said something similar. So what originally I thought is maybe they could uh, take it, buy the company, and then decide to, like if they took 50% stake or something like that, they would sell off the assets below market price to XPO. Uh, Teamstar has, they have, what you call it, they, sorry, I'm blinking out. So they have Amazon route, they have Walmart routes, and they have a lot of trucks. So I thought the routes are very lucrative. They're like 50, 100K, something like that per route. And God knows how many routes there are. So I thought they could sell the routes to XPO. They could sell the trucks to XPO because they own the stake. They'll agree on a price, and then eventually they can, or they could put them into different thing and spin it off, and then let the other company go bankrupt, and they would make money off. But Michael Good said that's not the case. It's against the law that you can spin it off. I thought I've seen it happen in the past, but yes, but like sometimes I thought companies would spin it off and then just let the entity itself go bankrupt. So the other situations, so that's incorrect. The other two situations that I thought was potentially like that the government, because there's union and because the $700 million loan, the interest only kicked in 2023. I thought the government would be like, hey, you know what? We don't want any more supply chain issues. We uh, we don't want any supply chain issues, and we don't want a lot of employment. Things are bad as inflation. This trucking company goes bankrupt. It I don't know how much dent and whatnot it would make. So they may be like, you know what? We'll extend the loan interest free for 3 5 years, get the ball rolling, and etc. Um, and in that case, they would have uh, continued to move forward, even though at the moment they stopped. A third scenario by a guy that works at Goldman Sachs, he told me, we had a long phone conversation after this. If you guys want to read through a bunch of these comments and things, uh, yeah, this is where I complained that 70 cents didn't fill. Uh, so the the so there was multiple scenarios where it would have caused that Yell may not go bankrupt because the people that are buying it are in that field. They have a stake in XPO, so the risk reward was good. At when I was looking to fill at 70 cents, which would have been around here, I figured I'm gonna swing it and I'm gonna give it a really wide stop. Uh, the low was 50, 45. I was like, I'm gonna give it like a 35-cent stop, uh, something along those lines. And then I expected it to go potentially, in the best case scenario, 2.5. I thought it would take a week. I didn't know it was gonna be almost the same day. Went to like $2. And in hindsight, the other thought process was like, I'm gonna buy the dip. So this dip, I try to buy the real dip, but I don't know. So this was the play where I think the risk on this, you can very clearly started with like a wide stop and add to winner, and eventually, or you could start off 15 cents. 15 cents. If you added at 70 cents, yeah, 15-cent stop, and then you would have made six. I heard. Yeah, I went to five. So yeah, 15-cent stop and like cents, whatever that R is, you guys can calculate. It's a lot. Uh, that's another situation where you have an understanding of the storyline and understanding of dilution. And there's no dilution in this one. But the net summary, by the way, I hope none of the stuff is financial advice. And what I have learned also is that they are likely to go bankrupt. I told these guys that odds of them in bankruptcy is high, etc. But I'm not gonna I'm not gonna take that trade. I think. No, I don't know. Uh, but that was the play. It was missed. The other play that was from making money point of view. So if you know a short squeeze has happened, the first dip almost always it gets bought out because you have patient people that are waiting for a dip, and you also have shorts. So if we agree that this is a short squeeze, and fairly confident if you've been trading some part of time, you could see that it it would have like this is a short squeeze. So the first dip is always valid. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, well, it was tough to be honest on the day. What I was hoping for the next day for it to go back to like 250, 230, something like that. In here, the next day, if it had opened here, I would have longed it, and my risk would have been like at 2 50 cents. And I was hoping for a $4 or $5, maybe $2 gain. So that's it. You made it this far. You enjoyed it. Please put in the comment below what you want to see. Let us know if you want to see one-on-ones. Anything that you think would benefit. Happy to share. For sure, we will actually get a lot more guys that will be making videos. Finger crossed. And also, in a perfect world, some of the recent traders that joined our prop firm, they will potentially be looking to record their journey. It would be neat. So whether it's good, bad, they could see if they get positively impacted from being surrounded by other people that are focused on their craft. Subscribe. I hope it benefits you guys. I hope this video was beneficial. If it wasn't, let me know. If you want to see something else, let me. Have a wonderful day, guys.